TV respects me. It laughs with me, not at me.
Hello, good evening, good afternoon, good morning, and welcome. It's Nurse Richard, the Wax Wizard. Thank you for joining me. Hello, good completely forgot what to say then. Hello, let's try that again, shall I? I'm not going to do a second take of this. Hello, good evening, good afternoon, good morning, and welcome. It's Nurse Richard, the Wax Wizard. Sorry, feeling a little under the weather today. I'll tell you about that in a minute. 6 years in this, bit of everything. Now, this first one, hence the title of the video I get from this one, such a lovely little girl. I think she was only about 10, and the poor thing has a really nasty case of otitis media, middle ear infection. Look at that there. It's an incredibly painful, sore, inflamed and bulging eardrum, and it's bulging out that much. I did say to him there is quite a real possibility that this may perforate as well. Hopefully it doesn't, and hopefully I've referred it to a doctor to hopefully get some antibiotics in as quick as possible, and hopefully when they do, that will hopefully resolve itself before it gets any worse, because the poor little tyke had been in a lot of pain for a while now. She did say that removing the plug from her ear, that did improve her hearing quite a lot. It's not going to do much for the pain, unfortunately, but bit of TLC, some painkillers, and antibiotics, and hopefully that won't get any worse. But I did feel sorry for her, the poor thing. I'll keep you updated if I hear any more on that one. I haven't heard it. It was about a week ago I did that, and I haven't heard anything yet, so I'm hoping that no news is good news. Anyway, this second ear here, or second ears, you've already missed the second one. This is now the third one. It's a really small one. Now, this is the mother of a patient who has been in another video, a much longer video. And they both have incredibly small ears. I know you probably can't appreciate that from what you're seeing on screen here. It is a bit more evident when we're kind of a bit further outside the ear. But a daughter's got the smallest ear I've probably ever seen. And don't ask me to remember what video that's in or what episode number it is or what it's called. I can't remember. Something with small in the title, usually. And hers is just as small, so it does go to show that there is a lot of genetics in ears, and you give your kids some things, you get some things from your parents. Speaking of getting things from your kids, that's why I'm feeling a bit under the weather today, because there's no doubt I've caught something off my kids. It started with me. It goes to show how different boys and girls react. If you have kids of different genders, you might understand this. That my daughter, she got a nasty cold, and all she complained about was, my nose is a bit snotty, Dad. Can you buy me some more tissues? That's it. My son got it a few days after, and he was on death's door. Dad, I'm dying. Can't go to school. So man flu, boy flu. And I think I've got a bit of that. I was generally feeling a little bit rubbish today. Hence why I'm a little bit croaky as well. So I do apologise for that. Not a lot I can do about it. You can start to see just how small this is now as we try and get this out through the entrance. And it wasn't a huge plug, this, but it doesn't need to be to give you some problems when the ear is this small. Before I go any further, I nearly forgot, as I said I will do when I first started introducing this feature, subscriber of the day. If you want that to be you, feel free to leave me a comment down below saying I would love to be subscriber of the day. It's just someone who's picked at random, and just to thank them for being a subscriber. And today's subscriber of the day is Diane Burgess. I know you leave me lots of comments, Diane, so thank you for watching. Thank you for being a valued subscriber. If you do leave a comment and say, yeah, I'd love to be a subscriber, you've got to be subscribed. It's a shameless attempt to get more subscribers, this. But hopefully it works. And if you do like, because more than half of everybody who's watching this right now, it still baffles me this, won't be subscribed. So, and it costs you absolutely nothing to subscribe to the channel. You just got to find the button somewhere that says subscribe and just click it. That's all you got to do. And it does make a difference to the channel. So just a little bit of tidying up before I go back in. There is going to be a few remnants left in this ear. At some point you have to weigh up what's worth it and what's not worth it when you're doing anything in anyone's ear. And you don't need to have a spotless ear. You probably shouldn't, in fact. I'm going to try and get a little bit of this skin at the bottom. If I remember rightly, it got a little bit squeaky. It wasn't terribly pleasant for the patient, so we decided to stop before we got any further. She was already delighted at the point we've got to now. And Adrian doesn't look too bad. Did I stop at that point? No, let's try and get a few little bits more. But yeah, it's difficult to get things in to ears this teeny tiny. I don't know, you still can't appreciate how small this is. I think that's I don't think it's the fine end. I think it might be one size up from the fine end. The next one, interesting story behind it. Yeah, I think we left it at that point there. It was a lady who came to see, a daughter brought her to see me with a fully blocked ear, as you can see. It's chock-a-block. It's full to the brim. And I believe that she was a resident in a care home. Now, I did used to, I should say, visit people in care homes quite frequently. It's becoming difficult to have time to do that now. But thankfully, most people can have... I've got a family member who can bring them. I'm now on the ground floor, which I didn't used to be, so they can usually fetch them in to see me. So this lady's daughter brought her in and restored her hearing, but they had noticed a bit of a decline recently in her cognitive function. Now, she does have vascular dementia, which obviously affects the cognitive function, but believe it or not, having earwax can indirectly cause a decline in cognitive function and therefore increase the risk of getting things like dementia. Now, the reason for that is it doesn't directly cause dementia, but when you've got a reduced hearing or a hearing loss for whatever reason, in this case it was obviously having the wax in there, and if you've got reduced hearing, you get social isolation. You need to use your brain less, to be honest, because you can't hear anything. And when you're using your brain less, there's a risk of a cognitive decline, and a cognitive decline obviously can result in things like dementia, unfortunately. So it is really important to always, if you've got any elderly relatives, or that's you and you're having hearing difficulties, it's always worth checking out the reason for it, because it can lead to those issues. So it's always worth checking out. So we're just tidying up a little bit around the edges here. Again, not the largest of ear to get into. And I think we got them. Anything after we get the big plug out is always a bonus. And it made a marked difference, this lady, because when she first came in, I was trying to ask her some questions about her medical history. She was just answering completely inappropriately, and which a lot tend to do, just kind of nod and agree if you can't hear, you know. But a daughter and the people who knew her, the carers, were not quite sure whether it was because of a cognitive impairment, because of what was going on with the dementia, or because she couldn't hear. And a lot of it was resolved by removing this. You know, as soon as we got this out, she started responding appropriately. So it's you should never assume that it's a cognitive issue that can cause some communication issues. It could be something as simple as this. I think there's one more after this, and it was my favourite removal of the day because it was the easiest. There we go. Lovely looking eardrum there, and this was a lady who came to me with just one blocked ear, and it was just really satisfying when it comes out this easily. Just had to lift it up again. Not the smallest, not one of the biggest ears, and just got a little bit trapped in there. So just trying to try and roll that forward. It looks more sideways now, this, I think, because of the position we had to get into, because her head wasn't the most mobile. I had to kind of turn the endoscope around the opposite way, so that looks like it's kind of sideways on now. Lovely looking eardrum after that, though. Anyway, I hope you enjoyed that. I'll be back next time, hopefully sounding a little less ropey. But thanks for watching and sticking with it. But for now, take care of yourself, and I'll see you soon. Ta-da.